Hey guys, I want to thank y'all for joining me tonight for these few short minutes. I'll try not to take up too much of your time. I'll be honest with you, when I started working on this speech, it was something that I kind of had a little bit of struggle with. It wasn't really easy for me like the one we're doing now was, or the first one. I didn't really have that one particular person in my life that just kind of defined me or made me who I was, that I wanted to dedicate this to, like a lot of the other speeches that I watched. Again, there wasn't one individual in my life that's kind of directing me down the path that I went. I kind of feel like I'm what I am today is because of what I've chosen to be and what I've worked towards. So having said that, I kind of struggled with that for a minute. And then I kind of realized I was overcomplicating it. And I just decided that basically I'm just going to dedicate this person the most important person in my life. And that hands down is my daughter, Ryan. I realize that sounds kind of cliche, and everybody's probably sitting back and rolling their eyes and thinking, okay, here we go again. Here's another one of these speeches. But I just kind of wanted to explain that there's a little bit of backstory to that makes that so unique and so special for me. First off, I want to start out by saying that I've been happily married now for 15 years. But before that, I was in a very bad marriage for almost 5 years. During that time, really all I wanted to do was have a daughter. But I kind of always thought that would probably never happen because we just have no females in our family tree. It's non-existent. It's all boys. It's really, really kind of weird. So I knew deep down that the chances of me actually ever having a daughter were really, really slim. So I went through the entire 5 years of marriage, the first go around, and we never had any children. Thankfully, the Lord had greater plans for me, obviously. So I met my new wife, and we got married. And probably, I would say, 2 weeks into us being married, she told me she was pregnant. I was ecstatic, obviously. I mean, this is what I'd waited for my entire life. So, but again, I knew that the possibility of us having a girl was very, very slim. It just didn't happen. It didn't happen in her family, and it just was non-existent in mine. So the entire time she was pregnant, I pretty much spent the entire time fighting every instinct in my body to pray to God to please bless me with a little girl, because that's what I always wanted. But I just didn't feel that was right. And ultimately, above wanting a little girl, I just wanted her to be healthy. So every night before I would go to bed, every morning when I would wake up, every available minute I had, basically, I spent that time praying that the Lord would just let this be a happy, healthy baby. Just healthy. That's all I wanted. If it's a boy, it's a girl, it is what it is. It's your will. I just wanted the baby to be healthy. So, and no matter how hard I wanted to pray to please bless me with a little girl, I never did that. I wanted to, and I tried. It was so hard not to, but I really fought that. I didn't want to be selfish. I just wanted the child healthy. So when we went in for our first sonogram to basically tell us the sex of the child, I was absolutely blown away when they told me it was a little girl. I broke down crying. That's probably the first time in my adult life I've ever cried. And I was completely overcome with emotions because it just didn't happen. And going back to why I think my little girl was a gift to me from God. And again, I realize every parent says that. I understand that. And I'm not saying that's not the case. But the reason I felt this was so special was because all the literal hell that I went through in the first 5 years of my marriage, I felt like this was God's way of paying me back or not paying me back, but rewarding me for being patient, for being a loyal servant of His, and for trusting in Him and His will. And I feel that was His way of saying thank you, for dedicating so much of that time to Him and just trusting Him. So for that reason, like I said, she may not have made me who I am, but I believe she's made me a better person. She's certainly strengthened my faith and made me realize again that, or just maybe not realize, but reaffirm that there is a higher power and that everything happens through Him for a reason. So for that reason right there, I just wanted to dedicate this speech to my little girl, Ryan. She's actually not little anymore. She's 13 now. She's getting really old. It really depresses me. It makes me sad. But again, she's turned out to be an amazing person. And, I couldn't, I'll have to retract what I said earlier. I couldn't be what I am right now had it not been for her. and for the joy that she's brought to my life. So for that reason right there, I want to dedicate this speech to my daughter and give a shout out to her, and I can't wait for all the beautiful things that happen to you in your future. All right. Y'all take care. Have a good night. We'll talk to y'all later.